Oh no, my cats are acting up.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man who needs no introduction, his return with the V instead of a U to Cold Cuts podcast. We have Mr. House of Decline, Alex House of Decline.
Woo! Base.
Thank you for having
Welcome
me.
back. You've been
Uh,
on your podcast grind pretty heavy, and I noticed that you've been doing a lot of Twitter spaces recently.
oh
What
yeah.
one of which I hopped in. How's that been going?
Well, I like doing that because I do it while drawing. I realized I'm totally fucking addicted to Twitter, but if I'm
Mm.
doing spaces, if I'm talking to people, then the verbal part of my brain is distracted. So I
Hmm.
can do inking or like drawing. Anything that doesn't require me to write words, I can do while talking to people.
Yes.
And what's great about that is if you have a reach, just anybody comes on, and there are many interesting. I talked to like this dude who does fucking research in the Amazon jungle with
What?
like pop, like he's just some guy out there. He's got like 15 followers. He has the most interesting job I've ever
That's
heard.
awesome.
And yeah, and it's like, why do you read my comics? You're doing like real stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, that's really cool, dude. I do believe on some level that if I wasn't like if my only way out was not through like illustration and comics, the my backup route I would have fallen into something animal related. I just love animals so much. Like anything outdoors, wildlife shit would have just been it's so fresh. And I have so
Nothing
much respect for
sexual
people who
though.
do that. No, nothing
You wouldn't have done
sexual, but
sexual stuff, I
I
mean.
just like I love like that exact thing that you described, like that job of just like doing either restorative work or just research in like the jungle. Like all that stuff is so it sounds like such a badass job. It's like the coolest thing I think you can do.
yeah. Well, it's just a pure pursuit of knowledge. It feels like. Did you ever watch Master and Commander?
I have not, no.
Oh, it's so
Dude, it's a
fucking good.
good Russell Crowe, right?
Yeah, it's Russell Crowe and Paul
Yes.
Bettany, and they have a very homoerotic friendship on their sailing ship. But Paul Bettany is a naturalist in it, and they have like a scene, a
Hmm.
very intense homoerotic scene where they're doing like a violin duet together, and it's really. I think you
Oh
and
my
Harris
God.
would have like a great time watching it together because it's a
That sounds
real like.
awesome.
Yeah,
I've
yeah. I don't
seen
know
it.
who's
I've seen a
you
little bit
sort of
of it.
have a Russell Crowe Paul Bettany relationship actually, but Paul Bettany, you're the Paul Bettany Harris because
Oh,
you're the
nice.
naturalist. I mean,
Yeah.
Zach is also a naturalist, but so is Russell Crowe in the movie. But Paul Bettany specifically, there's this scene where it's like it's mostly about naval battles, but um they go to the Galapagos Islands just for like this
Yes.
15-minute extended sequence, and it's like just beautiful and gorgeous and like
Oh yeah.
heartbreaking and about sort of the changing nature of the world and our relationship to it. And it's, I mean, everyone will tell you that that Master and Commander movie hits, but I think you especially would be moved
Would
by that.
like it. All right. I've never even heard of it, so I gotta watch it. Funny story. I actually was 20 feet away from Paul Bettany on Saturday. He was
Yo,
Oh, really?
yeah, when I went to this convention MegaCon in Orlando, and I think like in anticipation I had looked up some of the guest lists, but I don't think I saw like the extended guest list, like the celebrity guests that were gonna be there. It was fucking out of control. I saw all these guys were there basically signing autographs and taking photos and doing meet and greets, but it was like Paul Bettany, he was sitting right next to Rainn Wilson. They were set up next to dude, I didn't see her, but her because she just hadn't come out yet, but her booth was set up. Susan Sarandon was there,
Oh,
Marissa
what?
Tomei, yeah,
mother, she shitted in the mother toilet.
and yeah, it's true. And then Ken Hoi Kwan was there. He was signing
Love
things
that guy.
of Everything Everywhere fame and the Goonies, of course. And it was like kind of out of control. And the lines also like Finn Wolfhard and the other Stranger Things kid was there, but like the
Oh, the
lines
the the Zionist, was the Zionist Stranger
he was
Things kid
not
there?
there. He was suspiciously absent, but the other kid who's missing his teeth was there,
Oh
and then
yeah,
the
Gaten Matarazzo.
yeah, and that but the lines to meet the like first of all, it's like $100 to get an autograph or take a photo with them, and the lines were crazy to meet them. But like I could stand there right next to them, and I was like, holy shit! But the only guy that I met there, funny enough, because there was not that many people waiting to see him, was I talked to Butch Hartman. I spoke to him,
Yo!
Oh,
which was
dude.
kind of
Comics
crazy.
legend, a cartoon legend, weird Christian, but who
Yeah, I
cares? He
know,
made the
I
fucking
know.
Fairly Odd Parents.
He is. I learned that fairly recently that he's a new world creationist, or I forget what it's called,
Yeah,
which I think
he's got some crackpot beliefs.
he's a
but,
little crazy. I think
He's
he's one of
based,
these.
guys. He's
He is.
based and red pilled.
I
Let's
think
kind of be
he's
honest here.
he's one of these guys that's like Jesus is coming back, and this time he's not fucking around, which is kind of funny. I love that. But I went up. There was literally like two people in line to see him, and I was like, do these guys either not know who this is, or like I was like, this is nuts. And so I went up, and there was a little person sitting next, not a little person, but like a person sitting next to him. That was like, if you wanted to have an autograph or take a photo, you had to like pay them, you know what I mean? And so I went up to them, and I was just like, is it cool if I just want to talk and say thank you to Butch? And they were like, that's totally fine. And they gave me this right here. They gave me this little pin, a Butch Hartman pin.
Yo,
Dude.
yo,
The famous
cool.
picture. Oh,
I know.
God.
It says art gives you power, use it wisely, which is very cool. And then I talked to Butch, and he was really nice, and I was just like, hey man, like I loved Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom growing up. Like no doubt your sense of humor had a huge inspiration on me, and love what you do. And he was like, that's great. He's like, what, are you a cartoonist? And I was like, yeah, I am actually. And then I gave him a bunch of Beetle Moses stickers that I had on hand, and
sure.
he was really nice. And so yeah, that was pretty cool. But
There you go. You're one step closer to the Beetle Moses cartoon.
kind of
But you're gonna
insane.
have to work with. It'll be funny if Butch Hartman tries to start. He's in his late period career now, so he might be getting a little more
Yes.
weird with it. Like, might be pushing the Christian stuff a little more.
Yeah.
Well, am I insane? I thought he made his own like Christian
He
Netflix.
did. It
Yeah.
was like a weird Kickstarter thing, and like nobody got there's a whole thing associated. But it sounds like you had a positive interaction with him.
I had a
so
good
I don't wanna
interaction with
sour
him. I
that.
mean, look, I know I had a phase, obviously, as many do, and the 2010 to 20.
He just timed
Did
out.
I cut
yeah.
Oh,
out
okay.
for a
You
bit?
timed
Timed out a
out.
little.
Okay.
Sorry, I had this bit like amazing atheist period somewhere in college probably, and now I'm just like, honestly, with religious people, even if they have like weird beliefs, I'm just like, whatever, it's a tough world. Whatever
Yeah.
gets you through the day, I'm not really like here to judge. And he was nice, so what
It
can I
doesn't
say?
really enter the cartoons. You can't really read Christianity into the Fairly Odd Parents
Definitely
or
not.
Danny Phantom in any strong way.
Yeah, I would actually say both of those things. The fact that they utilize either magic or like the undead in some capacity. I feel like a lot of hardcore Christians that goes against, like, isn't that why they hated Harry Potter? Wasn't
Oh,
there like
yeah,
a whole
dude.
section of,
As
you
my
know what I mean?
aunt was hated Harry Potter, I was not allowed to bring my Harry Potter books over, but also Pokemon because she was like, it's teaching evolution because they evolve like into each other, and it was like,
Oh
I
yeah,
guess, but I
I-
don't really think so. But
yeah. My
that
dad
shit's
hated
insane.
Pokemon. Well, because it's demon summoning, right? That's what he said. It's demon summoning. But the thing is, he was sort of right because it did lead to a lifelong obsession with the idea of demon summoning and liking the Ars
Yeah.
I'd say
Guild.
Yu-Gi-Oh is more demon summoning. Pokemon are like
yeah.
literally supposed to be animals.
They're
aren't
like
they?
animals. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
don't
is true.
know. It's
You like
weird.
eat them and shit. I don't think you could eat a demon. Maybe.
You can
Eat a demon.
You can eat
Could you?
Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they would
could
eat
eat-
like
I'm
Magikarp
built
and
different.
shit.
Yeah, they would eat Magikarp.
That's
There's many
fucked.
videos devoted to which Pokemon would taste best, including one Brian David Gilbert where he even analyzes the meta quality of which Pokemon tastes best, and then decides that it's Togepi because it's an egg.
Oh, because
No
it's an
way,
egg.
dude. Miltank, I feel like, because you could like it's milk
the
and then
Miltank
also a
steaks?
cow.
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
see that. I could see Magikarp probably being pretty good. That's just like it's like a tilapia fillet or something.
Yeah.
It's pretty benign.
Yeah,
Dude,
I would
I'd eat
want like
that bunny Pokemon for sure.
Oh, that's no doubt. I
you'd
would
eat
eat
the
that
you'd
one.
eat the lopunny. You would eat the
Yeah.
large hipped rabbit.
Yeah, just
That-
alive
Yeah.
too. Like
If you
like,
if you ate one of the more human looking Pokemon, would you get like a prion disease? If you ate like a Mr. Mime,
Definitely.
would you be? Would you
I
be
don't. There's
Definitely.
they always
cannibalizing
like
the Mr. Mimes out there?
they're edging closer and closer to like, dude, that's literally just a chick. But they're so hardline,
Yeah.
like they're not. They just have humanoid shapes. They're not
Yeah.
people. But like,
I had
don't know.
an old comic idea that just never came to fruition because I could not find a way to succinctly like put it into like a 3-panel, 1-page thing, but I wanted there to be like something where there was like a Mr. Mime suffrage where they were like trying to like gain the right to vote. And then like finally they actually do gain the right to vote. And the problem is that they have a massive influx of write-in votes for Mr. Mime because all they can say is Mr. Mime. And so, but I was like, there's just no way to like
That's
distill this down
you can't do
into
three. That's like a whole like epic. That's like you
No.
can't do
You
that in
should do
3
it.
panels. Yeah.
like an
Do
odyssey,
do like a
The Jinx-
fanfic.
a
yeah,
fanfic, yeah.
Dude, that's
The-
how 50 Shades of Grey got made. It was a Twilight fanfic. You could literally do like a Mime,
Really?
Mr. Mime epic, and then have it turn into its own thing. Yeah, dude. It was literally an erotic fan fiction that like
yeah.
people were like, this is amazing. So she
thought
like
I thought the
control
first
cut
50
change
Shades-
names. Huh?
I could have sworn that the first 50 Shades was like I thought it was written in like the 80s. Is it really that
No,
new?
yeah, it's literally a
Oh,
Twilight
what?
fan fiction. It was started after
You thought
Twilight.
50
It was Bella
Shades
and
was this-
Edward. But that's what Twilight was about too, because really there haven't been a lot of really big pop mainstream sub fantasies. You know, try and think of like another,
Sub-fantasies.
because that's what Twilight is all about. 2 monster men.
Stop
are
ascribing your
impossibly-
LGBTQ lifestyle onto these children's books.
It's
House.
woke. We're making Twilight fucking woke. We're the secret socialism of Twilight.
Yeah.
Doing a YouTube video about the secret socialism. No.
Wasn't there what was the one, the really famous one that was about Harry Potter that people couldn't tell if it was a hoax or
My
not?
Immortal? That's
Yes.
so good. Yeah. I am Rebony, Avon Darkness, Dementia Way. Yeah.
What'd you
my
mean
boyfriend
by
is Gerard
my
Way, who
cat's
is
acting
also
up. What'd you mean by a sub fantasy?
Oh, it's like the premise of Twilight, right, is I am the most irresistible girl to these monster men that can kill me, right?
Mhm.
You know, and that's the sub fantasy. It's like these guys could kill me, but they don't because you know.
Oh, I
the
see.
pussy's too
Okay,
good,
I'm an
you know,
idiot.
the pussy's too good, right? You know. But it's like when Robert Pattinson he says, "You're my own personal brand of heroin. I'm constantly thinking about destroying your body." And that should be threatening, but apparently all over subs all over the world were like, I like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's what 50 Shades of Grey is about too. It's like it's a pop submissive fantasy, which before that, like it's usually dom fantasies. It's usually sort of like more male oriented dom fantasies. That's
Well,
like
it would
the power
depend on
fantasy.
the audience of who the book's for, right? Generally,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
The what was the one? This is the real thing. Did we already talk? I feel like the three of us, I'm having flashbacks, have already talked about this on podcast, but that one German guy that met like on cannibalsmeat.org and then, paid a guy to come out there who consented to have him to be like slowly dissected and cooked. And then it became like a weird thing because they couldn't decide if
it was
like,
murder or not. Can you consent to murder?
Because he consented. I think
Yeah.
I think the guy walked. I mean, I don't think
I don't
he actually-
remember.
I don't remember what the turnout
Well,
for that was.
allegedly, if I'm not misremembering, in the trial, he did say, I think when the guy was like, I think resisting towards the end or something, unless he knocked him
okay.
out.
I don't
I
think
totally
that works
forget.
because like you can't consent to a street fight, right? So like you get in trouble. But like I went to law school. I don't know law, but though, so don't listen to me on any of
I
this.
don't actually know. I'm kind of curious what the turnout was of that guy. What German?
All I remember from that story is that they ate the penis first, but he overcooked it, which is such a shame because you only get one shot at that,
That would be like the prime piece, I feel like, if you were a gay guy eating another guy, right?
You would want to eat the dick. Well, you'd be interested because you'd be interested to actually eat the dick more out of a curiosity than.
Right.
But I feel it's like a meat you've never worked with before. It's like all cartilaginous. I feel like it would be very like it's like a piece of fish. Like you can't overcook it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's mostly just like it's mostly like holes. It's mostly like bone.
Didn't he give it
foods.
to the dog or something afterwards?
That'd be
Well,
funny.
I think
Give
okay.
it to his
I
dog,
did
I
find
forget.
out there was some complications. He is currently serving a life sentence, but
Yeah.
originally they got him for manslaughter because I'm assuming because they're of because
Yeah,
of the
I mean,
consent. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, it's like you killed a guy, but it's how do you this happens so rarely? How do you categorize it within the?
Yeah,
it's just
that
something you
should've
don't
Should have done it in
anticipate to happen.
Canada, bro. You guys
Yeah.
had that guy. What did he do? He cut off that dude's head on the bus, and then he went.
What?
to-
Did he walk? I
Dude,
don't know.
this
I
guy-
imagine that was an insanity defense thing, though.
Well, dude, he went to fucking this. He had to go to like a psych place for like 2 years, and then they were like, "He's good," and he's like totally free now. It's
Yeah, maybe
crazy,
he is.
bro.
Who knows? Who knows?
Good for him.
I hope the best. I would like to, so have you ever been on a cross country bus? I get it,
I've wanted. I've
Dude, I don't
been
know
there.
why. Like, it is insane. People don't take the train, dude. I mean, the trains here kind of suck, but like, I hate
yeah.
bus travel. Is the worst travel
Yeah.
on earth, dude.
Yeah, bus travel definitely sucks. I mean, I will say the thing that I preferred always about bus travel is the only benefit as opposed to the train is that you're above ground, so you can still use the internet and be on your phone. That used to be the annoying thing about being on the train is when you go underground, especially if there's delays, you're sitting there
Can
and
you
you're
just talk
just
to the person next with you and grow as a human?
no, because they're eating
You
like
do
a
that.
full plate of spaghetti. Like that's usually what it's like in on the New York subway system.
Dude,
I do not
someone
miss
posted
that.
a picture. You know how like, first of all, because of the fact that the smells in airplanes travel everywhere so fast, it's insane. You used to be able to smoke, even though it's like, dude, there's a smoking section. There's no way that people up front were not all contracting cancer. Like,
Absolutely.
there's
yeah.
no fucking way, dude. But dude, I
Yeah.
just saw a picture. And it's like this couple, and they're smiling, and they brought like onto the plane just like a whole seafood platter, and I was like, dude, I would vomit if I was fucking
That's
sitting next to that,
disgusting.
dude.
There's a
That is
there's a
so fucked.
there's a movie theater near me, which is on the fancy side. Like when you get tickets, it's on like a couch, and they bring you can order
Is this
food.
the
Like it's
crab
like
legs
A
meme?
real
Can you get
Alamo
crab
draft
legs?
house.
it wasn't the crab legs actually, but I've been there and like they have really good popcorn and all this stuff, but you can also order like chicken wings and random crab. The couple in front of Angie and I back in, I don't know, this was like a few months ago, ordered a plate of Brussels sprouts, which I like Brussels sprouts, but like
They smell
like
like farts,
they
dude.
stink. They smell like
Yeah, they
farts.
do stink. Yeah, they
And
do
they
stink.
and they brought out this plate of Brussels sprouts, and I was like, do you guys have any common sense at all? Like,
Yeah.
why would you order
Well, dude, that's the
literally
movie
the
theater's fault.
stinkiest food?
You're
that
trying
is
to
it.
blame the drug addict and not the pusher, dude. The movie
The
theater should not
Brussels-
be selling fucking Brussels sprouts, dude.
Would you like your microwaved fish? We microwaved it inside
Dude.
the movie theater.
It's disgusting.
Oh, dude.
I
Have
was
you
like,
guys heard of balut or galut?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
oh yeah, the Filipino
Yeah.
partially fertilized
That would
duck.
be the craziest movie theater.
I
I don't know where I'm
I
going with
never
this.
I never had balut, but I went one time with I think everybody has a friend like this, and in most circles I am this friend, but there is one guy who has been this friend to me who will just eat anything, the most disgusting crap imaginable with glee. He like seeks it out. My friend Adam, he was also my roommate at a time, and he wanted to go to this Filipino restaurant in New York called the Jeepney or something, and we went over there, and he specifically went there to get balut. They like serve it there, and like it's pretty much the only time that I've encountered a food that, because I'll try anything once usually, and this is the only time that I, no pun intended, chickened out. But I was just like, I cannot fucking eat that. But when they brought it to
It's
him,
a duck. You could have said ducked out, you moron.
I ducked out. No, it's over
Nah,
for me.
yeah.
When they brought it and like he cracked it open, he was like, "Do you at least want to like?" He was like, "Do you want to try it?" And I was like, "Let me just smell it." And I took a little whiff, and I sensed at that moment, I was like, I kind of get it because it actually smelled halfway between a boiled egg and chicken noodle soup. You're like, and which it kind of is.
But you gotta
Yeah,
bite
yeah,
the head
yeah.
off, Like
Yeah, no.
I can do that with shrimp. Like when you're going to like a hot pot restaurant, I can eat a whole shrimp. For some reason, eating that bug is fine for me. But
Yeah.
other thing, like a ducks are cute, know.
Yeah.
I can't bite the head off one.
To be fair, this one, I don't know if it's a different style of balut, but it looked like they had cooked it more in its like zygotian form than they had in its like embryonic form. Like it looked more just like a gelatinous mass. It didn't have like a beak and eyes
Didn't have a
or
soul.
anything. Didn't
But
have
it
a
had
soul.
flesh.
We should
But
be
it was
doing with this
pretty gnarly.
human balut babies or something. There's got to be a time
Galoot.
period in there.
Oh god, dude.
That's like the South Park episode where Christopher Reeve is sucking out all the stem cells of the
what's
fetuses.
it called?
Uh,
What is that shit called? Did you say it? I spoke over you.
stem cells.
Stem cells. Yes.
He's sucking at it. That episode is great.
That was
I love
crazy. That
episode,
was
dude.
like, I remember as a kid that being like a huge deal in the media for like a year, and probably not even a year, like 6 months.
I kind of learned what it actually was more recently than I'd like to admit, because like 2 years ago when Angie's nephew was born, when they asked her sister and brother-in-law, do you basically want to like keep, because when you're born, they can, I don't know if it's from the womb or from the actual
placenta.
baby.
You can keep the placenta.
You can keep the placenta, and there are the stem cells in that. They're like, we can basically put this on ice for you if you'd like. Like, I think you.
Yeah,
I don't even know
eat
if
it. People eat the
Yeah, my
placenta
aunt made
'cause
a
it's supposed to
soup
be
with
really
it.
good for you. Yeah.
No, they were. Well, I don't think they were doing that. They were literally like they were asking if they wanted the hospital to keep it, because literally, and I looked it up because I was like, why did they ask that? They said yes, but it's literally because it's not something I think they can do right now, but they're anticipating the technology will get to a point that, for example, if this baby somewhere down the line, if he's like 20 years old and he loses an arm or something, you could use those cells to like hypothetically regrow parts of the body, or
you can use
which is
them now
insane.
just to repair. Like if
There's
you inject
certain
stem
stuff,
cells into
yeah.
shit, you can't regrow shit. But
Because when you're, and I had to look it up and understand this, but it's like when you're a baby, but specifically when you're in the womb, those types of cells, the stem cells, the reason they're called stem cells is because the human body doesn't produce them after a certain point, but like they can grow into a
they're
bunch of
easy.
other different parts of your body.
Yeah.
And that's because when you're in early development, that's like how they work. And I was like, that is fascinating. It's pretty bizarre that, because weren't there people that were like advocating against it or saying it was
Oh yeah,
demonic
well,
or
because
something?
it's associated with abortion, right?
Some
Because-
people think, yeah, you literally have to like harvest children, but there's other ways to get it. But also, like, dude, if you're gonna rip a baby into 20 pieces, like, let me at least like,
Let me at
heal
least
my boo boo faster.
keep some
like,
of them.
what the
It
fuck?
is
What
kind
are
of
we gonna do with it?
insane. Yeah, I mean, this was the baby was born healthy and everything, but I just thought it was fascinating. I'm like, wow, that's insane that's an option to just
Dude,
like
I'm
keep some of that.
I'm kind of out of it, and when you were first gearing up in the story, I thought it was gonna be the doctor being like, "Can we use your baby for themselves?"
It's
Daring, all right.
like
Yeah,
the doctor's like,
oh.
you gonna eat that?
yeah.
It's yeah, no, that's pretty crazy though.
We're doing some blood libel here, but it's against Gentiles, so it's fine. Wait, no, I
Yes,
guess it is
exactly.
against
Hey,
Jews. No, it's
hey.
the opposite. They're sucking the juice out of the Jewish babies. So it is reverse blood libel.
It's
You're talking
reverse.
Berserk.
Yeah.
Berserk.
Wait, in Berserk, did they
something
suck
there.
stuff out of Jewish people?
I don't
Is
remember
a
that
plot in
part.
Berserk?
I don't think I got
remember,
to that point yet.
I don't
No,
remember
that's
the.
Berserk, bro.
Oh, Berserk.
Yeah, I'm making a witty pun. I don't know.
Oh, bris.
I don't know if you
I
caught
like
on.
the idea of like. Can you imagine doing a bris with the gut sword?
That's
That would
what
be
I was thinking of a comic.
Careful.
Has someone done that?
I've done my bris comic, which was about the samurai, the wandering Ronin cut. I think that's the comic that first
That's
drew me to
awesome.
your attention, Zach. Actually, which was the wandering. The moil canceled. How are we gonna do this bris? What luck? It's a wandering Ronin, and it's it's a dirty samurai with a sword, and
I don't even know that one. I think that was
old ass.
pre
Dude,
my time
House
on
had
Twitter.
some like he's been making bangers from day one, bro.
I knew that.
Dude, I remember
back
when
in
you were
the
just
day.
a small baby account.
Tiny baby
Dude,
account.
I remember. I think when I first joined Twitter, before I had even chosen the name Beetle Moses, I was still going by some long, incongruous name that I had to change. I remember listening to that. There was a Twitter space between you two. You guys were chatting, and House, you were still sitting at like. You might have had like 15 thou on Twitter or something like that, and Zach might have been sitting at like 40K, and yeah, that's when I first like saw your work, and I was like, damn, this dude is cooking. This guy's really good.
Oh,
But
you're nice. You're nice.
yeah, and then it feels like we all kind of like it feels like we're all the same graduating class. We're all kind of like came up.
Well, we're part of the weird COVID webcomics researchers. I don't know.
Yeah.
For some reason, everyone got. I think something about the fact that everything's in boxes or something, but everyone just started really like associating with webcomic. They came back unexpectedly
They
because
did come back.
there was like
I don't want to say it was me, but
it was you. It was all you.
I was grinding for 3 years pre-COVID before you guys hit the scene.
That's true.
I think I made
That's
it kind
true.
of cool. I don't want to brag, but
there was, I mean, you were doing like a lot of and that Beanie Tuesday fella as well was sort of pre this, but I think COVID for some reason, I guess it's because everyone was inside and like now everyone was doing their hobbies as well, so it's like people could commit more to
dude,
it.
it would be so messed up if like all three of us found like mainstream success and started this new wave of like kids like I want to grow up and be a webcomic artist. I would literally kill myself, dude.
I would kill
That would be like
the wrong
Oppenheimer
we need
levels
doctors.
We need doctors,
of like,
please.
I've created death.
Well,
Yeah.
but like I do think like I don't know, it's funny because I felt for a long time that I was like, you know, when I saw us three and also like Keith Stack and a bunch of other guys also kind of just like making really good comics, and all of a sudden, like you said, has like this like weird resurgence because it felt like webcomics were kind of stale for some reason, which is unusual because now I feel like I look on some of the webcomics that I was kind of like iffy on, and now I look at them a lot more warmly, you know, like than I
think
did.
it was really for a while, and I hate to use this term, but it was very Reddit
It
web
was,
comics.
yeah.
You know, it's very because a lot of them are a lot of the history of web comics. I think, especially in that period you're talking about, it's Tumblr stuff. You know, it's fandom stuff. It's sort of weepy autobiographical stuff. If there are gags, they're very tame and, you know, for a big general audience, so you can't go too fucked up with it ever. But was it, I remember, I mean, there was some great shit that I saw on Reddit during that time. That Elder Cactus fella, I think.
Elder Cactus is
Oh yeah, he
awesome.
was good. He was anti-Reddit that found
Yeah.
success on Reddit.
But he had that one of like, ooh, my butthole, my butthole.
Yes.
You know, that's a
Tony
classic one.
Lazarus.
Tony Lazzuto says hello.
Yeah,
or
that's
sends
a
us regards.
great one from that
He's
era.
awesome.
Dude, speaking of that era, I was blown the fuck away. Harris won't know this. House, I know you will. Do you remember? I think we talked about it before, but it was like this chick who would do video gaming comics.
The Jeff Teirdrich? Jeff
Dude,
Teirdrich's daughter?
Finding out that
Katie
that's his
Teirdrich?
daughter, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, yo,
I do not know who are you talking
Okay,
about?
so Katie Teirdrich, what was the name of it? Awkward Zombie. She did a gaming webcomic. She had a bunch of funny comics. She had one about Pokemon weaknesses where it's about how do you make sense of flying versus fighting. And she says, have you ever tried to punch a bird? And I remember that line.
Okay.
It's a really good line. But then it turns out her dad, her name is Katie Teirdrich. I never put this together, but her dad is famous, you know, sir, this is a Wendy's poster.
Trump reply guy.
Yeah, Trump reply guy and liberal stalwart Jeff Teirdrich. And that was, she made a comic about Jeff Teirdrich being the guy that inspired her to write comics to begin with. And it was
just, that's who this is. That's insane. That's
saw
really
the
funny,
most
though.
biggest Jeff Teirdrich haters in the replies being like, I don't hate him anymore. I can't.
He raised a goofy kid. I gotta respect. You know, gotta respect. You raised a goofy kid.
Nice.
That's all we ever want.
That shit's hilarious. I mean, I had no idea. I've seen this Jeff Teirdrich guy before on Twitter, but I never even was.
He's the best.
This guy?
He is he is the most frothing at the mouth, centrist, liberal, like Hillary supporter type guy. And he just wins everyone over because of how you can look up, sir, this is a Wendy's, and he has literally replied, sir, this is a Wendy's, to various Republican pundits like 10,000 times. Like you just search.
This guy's based.
Yeah, no, and like when Trump was arrested, everyone was like, it's Jeff Teirdrich's day. It's Jeff's day. It's for him.
Oh my god, that is mad funny. Well, what happened with Katie? Is she still
she's relevant. She keeps doing comics.
Does she still make comics?
Yeah, I mean, that's the one that drew the thing that drew everyone's attention to the fact that Jeff Teirdrich was her dad was a comic she made about Jeff Teirdrich doodling.
Oh, right.
On a thing. But I don't know if she makes gaming comics anymore.
I'm on awkwardzombie.com and there are Yeah, she's posting. She's posting
She's
every day,
posting, yeah.
basically.
They're
Yeah.
classic. I like
Her
her
art's really
style.
good.
Her
Yeah,
style's
it's
pretty
like
Yeah, it's good.
it's got that digital style, but it's not doesn't have that like oppressive vector graphics like oatmeal type of thing going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
It's very
Yeah, no, these are well
cerebral.
done. It
Dude,
is.
that was a
These are
Reddit
good.
comic, bro. That
That
I'm
oatmeal, yeah.
scared to even look back at them because I'm like, holy shit, Reddit.
Which one's that?
Oh, the oatmeal, which is I don't want to say anything bad. I've ragged against the guy before. I find and I shouldn't because he's probably fine, you know. But
Dude,
it's
he's
the
a
most.
hardcore Zionist, bro. Say whatever you
Is
want.
he?
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, this
The
guy.
oatmeal guy is a hardcore Zionist?
Dude,
Oh,
like,
okay, fuck
insane.
that guy. Fuck me, it's awesome.
I made that up. I made that up. I made
No,
that up.
damn it. Damn it.
Is it no? Well,
It's
I mean,
it's like that's like when the Strange Planet guy turned out to be an anti-abortionist, but he's not
Oh
an
my God.
anti-abortionist
the
anymore. So I can't
As
use
someone
that
who
against-
loves like shitty, like, dude, my comics are shit posts, and those alien ones are like shit posts, and it's like
Yeah.
the fact that someone actually gave him a TV show to me is insane because it's like the entire point of the comic is, I beep boop, basketball. Don't you mean put ball in?
It's
hoop ball?"
Coneheads. It's the Coneheads joke.
But
They
how
were
do you
doing
do
this in
that
the
for
80s.
like episodes?
Yeah.
20
What the
years.
fuck?
Yeah, I
it's
don't know.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, I was always a little bit even like nervous to do a comic, like to Keith Stack's credit. I think having a comic with even just like recurring characters is difficult in and of itself because you need all of your jokes to surround these guys. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's tough. But like that guy, he does not just the same characters, but the same joke, like
Yeah.
every single time for the Strange Planet guy. I mean, it's just
Sometimes
I
I
thought you meant
think
Keith
that
Stack.
premise
No,
can
not Keith
also
Stack.
be the Alex Norris fella, the Oh No comics guy. I think he does the one joke premise like really well, actually. Because
Yeah,
did.
I agree.
But I
Well,
think
something
it got stolen, didn't
He's
it?
in
yeah,
a
that
he's
shit
in a
is
crazy
fucking awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know he's been embroiled in a crazy legal battle. I think he
I
actually
think they
might
are
have.
they actually. I think.
Oh,
Alex
they.
Norris is
Sorry,
they, yeah.
I do think that they.
Nice,
I
Harris.
could be wrong, but I feel like they came out on top. Like I think they actually did end up winning the legal battle, but I
I
could.
think there
I
was
didn't know
some
it was
headway
over.
in that, but yeah, Golden Bell Games fucking stole their IP, and that shit that's my nightmare.
That
you know?
sucks.
That's why I've never attempted to partner with any sort of, not that they would have me anyway, not that they would have the penis guys, but yeah, it's like I don't know if I would like if a games company offered me to do a TTRPG, I'd probably just try and do it independently based on the assumption, oh no,
Dude.
you guys are gonna try and steal my shit.
Download
Mhm.
RPG Maker, bro. It's like $5. You can make a wealth of games. You can make
Yeah.
the most based. Dude, I would 100% play a penis guy RPG.
For sure.
That would
In
be
the
Oh,
House of
so
Decline
sick.
style. that'd be
I have
fresh.
I can tell you my pitch for a game, which is a game
Let's
that
hear
I've always it has RPG elements, but it's a roguelike platformer called Game of Decline, and there would be power-ups, and it would be 2D, and the point is you would just be going down. The stages would be 2D, but there would be sort of various obstacles, sort of like a Worms map on each different thing. And the idea is you need to go down further and further, and you could have enemies, and it would be all in black and white, and it would be sort of simplistic,
this is
so you could produce
awesome.
it cheaply.
That is awesome.
Bro, you need to
Roguelike,
have a gag
and it would have
where, like,
platforming elements as well. Like you'd have to clear the room with platforming elements as well as defeating the enemies in the room. But then you would get upgrades to help with the platforming and the weapons. And
you talking
there-
just platforms or some puzzles too?
there could be puzzle rooms as well. There could be puzzle.
Bro, you
rooms.
need a character select screen that boasts like 4,000 different characters, but it's just the one penis guy with like a ranger hat or a wizard hat or like a, you know what I mean?
yeah. The same design of guy.
Dude,
Or,
that would
well,
be fresh though. That sounds like a
That
good
would be
idea.
fresh.
like I could bring back some of the one-time characters. Like I really like Big Torso Frank. Like he deserves to come back. I like that guy.
You thinking
That guy's
playable or
good.
just NPC?
He might be an NPC because he wouldn't fit
Dude,
into
you
the
should 1,000,000% crowdfund this and just do that
No,
Lisa
I mean-
type thing. Dude, people would pay to be NPC like
Sometimes
to design a little NPC guy that's like there.
Mhm.
And speaking of things where like a brilliant designer or creator got screwed as well, was there's this game I follow called Mr. Coup or the many The Many Lives of I don't know. The character is called Mr. Coo. It's by this Spanish animator. The thing is, this animation is like it's the best modern animation I've ever seen. It's like a shame that this guy is underrated. And I first knew about Mr. Coo because it appeared on Newgrounds years and years and years ago in its early infancy. And I rediscovered this guy through Twitter. And turns out he makes this point and click adventure game with this gorgeous fucking animation in it. But the game gets trashed because the studio that he leased the programming out to or partnered with did a totally shit job with it. And he had to make this apology to everyone.
Damn.
And he had to like, and he was talking smack about the studio. And I like believed him because it's like, damn, you really do have to like DIY for you to get that quality control, you know?
Okay, let me read off these executives real quick. Gotta say, love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. If you are listening to this and you want to be part of the Patreon, we'd love to have you over there. We got a nice little family of people in the Discord there, and the door is always open. You can go to patreon.com/coldcuts. These are our executives. We have Bugs on My Wee Wee, Big Tasty, Brat Brat Pew Pew, Conga Heli, Francho, Gzan, HP, Limp Dick, Protista, Protagon, Shrek the Third, Shalom Guy, welcome back, and Trevor Stilson. I freaking love you guys. Thank you so much for your support.
The execs rock, man. It is crazy that we got the exec squad rolling, bro. These guys are killers. We got shooters in every city. We got shooters in Ontario. House, you better watch your back. Okay,
they're coming. They're coming.
We have a private eye on the server,
yeah,
which is insane. You were saying that earlier about some guy who's like a Indiana Jones told you he likes your comics. When we had the private eye guy say he liked our comics or mine, I was like, "What the bro?
Why
you're
like you're a person, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
You're crazy.
You're like,
bro?
Not to compare myself to Cormac McCarthy because I obviously have not.
Don't bring that up. Harris is going to talk about how he's reading Blood Meridian for the 700th time.
Do not fucking
the judge.
Yeah, I finished
You're
it.
done?
I finished it last week or something. Yeah, great.
How based is it when they're like, let's play with each other's pee and make bullets?
Oh, I like the part where they're like, I can't believe there's blood in my meridian. It's fucking... No, the book was amazing. I mean, I know that it's become like a Twitter meme that it's just like, you gotta read this book, but
yeah, it's as
wow,
good as everyone says
it's absolutely deserving of the accolades. It definitely sat with me. It's sickening.
Come Meridian or the evening gayness in the West. Sorry.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It's not.
I think you got something there. The character. Have you done a Blood Meridian comic? Have you done a Judge Holden comic?
I haven't done a Come Meridian comic, but I feel
there's
like
a House of Decline.
What was your absolute favorite part about the book?
My absolute favorite part? I mean,